I'm Dr. Shilpi Sana and I'm going to describe you on the topic of organizational behavior, and there are different kinds of level in organization behavior. So before discussing about the organizational behaviors level, we need to first understand the basic introduction about the organizational behavior. Now, what is organizational behavior? So if you see the organizational behavior, it divided into two words, organization, and the second is behavior. So organization, where the individuals, group, the processes, they are combined forces working together, and the behavior. If we talk about individual, if we talk about group, if we talk about the people who are working into that organization, how they behave, between how they behave into that system, how they will perform, how they will work. So we need to study in organization behavior. So basically, whenever we talk about the organization behavior, we said it is the study of human behavior, because human work as an individual, human works as a group, and human work into the organizational processes. So it is a systematic kind of study, because whenever we talk about any kind of study, if it is not a systematic manner to study the same kind of, we cannot achieve the goal which is related one. So first we need to talk about the different kinds of level which are supporting to the organization behavior studies. So there are three types of level working in the organization. The people, as I talk about, work in the individual level, the people who work like into a group, and the people togetherly they work for organization. So individual level, I mean as an individual person, there are many factors they affecting the individual's behavior, the emotions, how they are connecting with the system, how they are connecting with the work, the value and the attitude, what sort of a values that you are following, what sort of a values that you are possesses in itself, and the attitude, whether you have a positive attitude or the negative attitude, the perception, how you look into that particular manner, how you perceive things from the environment, and then only you can turn all the perceived things into your work or in terms of your personality. So as an individual, so whenever we are working, whenever we are studying the behavior, we need to understand the individual emotions, we need to understand the value and the attitude system of the individual, we need to understand the perceptions and the personality a individual carries towards their performance. Now we are coming to the next level, which is a responsible, which is the important level in the organization, that is called group. Because if you see, no one can work in the organization on an individual basis. As an individual, you work, but you also involved into many of groups. Fine. So whether in talk in terms of the formal group, whether in talk in terms of the informal group, your working colleagues. So you have to work into a group because you need to achieve a certain kind of a goal, and that only can possible when you work into a team. But again, we need to understand the factors which is responsible, or the factor which is important to understand in terms of a group, that is the negotiation amongst the group member, the conflicts, because every individual, because we already cover as an individual things, so every person as an individual different in terms of perceptions, values, attitude, and the personality. So definitely there kind of a conflict is being arises in the group. The communication, how you communicate each other, your communication is smooth, or maybe your communications is not supporting or not following the systematic manner, and the group and the teams, whether you are working into a group or whether you are working as a team, because there is a difference between the group and the team. So whenever we talk about team, it means it's a collective effort, like as a team, all people are working, then they're working like as a group. But when the group work into a collective manner, then it is called as a team. Now we are coming to the third level, which is called organization, because individual, group, they are working for organization. Individual, group, they are having their goals, but the goals that they need to achieve for their organization. So in the level of organization behavior, we need to understand, because every time, the organization, their processes, their culture, their environment, they are, changing. And if they are changing, then definitely your emotions, your attitudes, your personality, your communication level, you're working into a group, or the group working like as a team, that also changes. Fine. So if you work into an organization process, the change definitely will affect as a level of OB. Now we are coming to the organization culture. What sort of a organization culture that you are following in your organization? Different kind of organization set up in your organization. So whether these setup will support in terms of your productivity, your efficiency, so that we need to understand in terms of organization. Because if something into working into a positive manner, then definitely the people are motivating, the people are into a productive manner, the people will give you a result into a positive manner. Then we're coming into a decision making. Your organization will support in terms of the decision making process. Because if we talk about the organization, you're working into a centralized manner, you're working into a decentralized manner. So what sort of a decision making? Because the next point that we cover as a leadership. So definitely that leadership, how leadership will affect in terms of the decision making process. Fine. A leader, a kind of a leader that you are having, a autocratic leader, a democratic leader, a free reign leadership style. So whenever we discuss about the organization behavior, because organization behavior is a study of the human behavior, we have to work, we have to understand, we have to study the individual level factors, we need to study the group level factors, and we need to study the organizational level factor. Because a one person as an individual, a different kinds of behavior pattern. When we enter into a group, then we follow a different kind of changes in the behavioral system. And when we talk about into organizational level, I mean the micro level, then definitely there would be a change in terms of the behavioral pattern. So the study to understand then into a different levels, how you cope up with all kind of a situation, how you cope up, how you will work with the changing behavior of the people pattern in the organization. So that will be all. So thank you so much.